cannot sustain an economy based on innovation unless we have citizens well educated in math, science, and engineering.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal before this decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth.
Well, some people may see this lab and see it as a science lab. I see it as a lab for learning. Because immediately when I first came into the Professor Know-How lab, it was just amazing what kids were learning.
Quite honestly, if you do not engage students in their middle grades and really make them want to learn and be excited about learning, and especially about learning STEM subjects, then by the time they get to high school, it's really too late.
Professor Know-How's Lab is a free after-school program that engages middle school students in STEM subjects through a truly unique hands-on approach. The STEM subjects are science, technology, engineering, and math.
We are not educating our young people for engineering, science, math, technology. We're doing a rotten job, in fact. The rest of the world is doing the job. They are producing the scientists and the engineers and the technology experts. And if we don't do more of the Professor Know-How work to have students become interested in science, we're going to lose our edge.
The industrial America that's going on right now, our skilled workforce is being depleted very rapidly, and we have to replace that resource. And the only way we're going to replace that resource is by getting children involved with magnetics, electricity, machining, so that we can reestablish and rebuild the skilled workforce in the United States so that we can still remain the United States.
When I entered the classroom, I knew exactly why I was encouraged to engage with Professor Know-How. They had the most incredible equipment, but the dialogue back and forth was really, really rewarding. They were talking about literature, they were talking about history. This was an experience that I thought was going to be good, but it was really great.
Professor Know-How's approach is to get kids engaged in learning science by taking apart the technology, all the gadgets that they use and love every day, and finding out how simple it is and how it all works. And by exploring how things work, it encourages them to invent things.
After Professor Know-How's lab, it really reflected on my learning, so I get A's in math now, and now my favorite subject is science.
We can't expect a teacher to be able to do all that they do in the short amount of time that they have. To be able to ignite these passions and ignite these interests in every subject and in every concept. These people who are experts in their field can do that.
I think what happens in Professor Know-How's lab can have a great impact on education overall. We try to encourage in our students, which is to ask questions, which is to be inquirers. That's something that stops in schools, when most students are just waiting for the answer. And that is precisely why we need Professor Know-How's labs in schools across our country.
And I do believe if they're excited about learning about science and they see what learning can do, that's going to follow through to math and language arts and social studies. It makes them want to learn.